What's up, y'all? SkiLLz Accelerator Mechanical Playground. We're standing on a tree stump right here, and we're also going to go over the head, how we move the head in relation to mechanical movement, okay? I think this is an often overlooked part of the body that can add so much character, delivery, like really show where the focus is meant to be, okay? We did where do we stare, and we focused on where do we stare. But this one, we're gonna focus on how our head moves in relation to mechanical movement, because this is one thing, okay? But then look when I do this. Just adds some extra oomph to it, some extra mechanical, robotic vibe, essence, mentality. You really look like you're becoming a robot, and this helps. So here we go with some fundamentals, and you just do even like the first couple fundamentals I give, it will change your movement so much, all right? So first, I'm gonna start real simple, as always. I'm just gonna do a square, that's it. Okay, see that? Right, up, left, down. Nothing too tricky. So let's say we have some of our mechanical, our robot movements, and we just and see how so let's say adding that square shape, how we add that to the rest of our body. Still keeping it simple. Okay, and when I moved from left to right, my head was in some position and it pivoted with the body. All right, now let's do it so that the head will stay still while the body pivots. Simple enough. Something like that, okay? Now we got the square. We got a few ways that we can move. Now let's add, still using the square, another way we can move up and down. So we did that. I move my head and I just stay. The angle of my head stays the same in relation to the body as we move up. So that means if I'm looking straight ahead like this, I'm going to be looking closer to straight up once my body comes up straight. Looking down, now I'm really going to look down. Looking up, I am looking straight ahead, okay? Now, here's one where the head is going to be facing the same direction as the body moves, okay? Boom. So I'm looking about, I really don't know what this is. This angle, whatever. I'm gonna stay looking at that angle as the body moves. If I did it right, then I didn't move too much. So it's like I'm kind of compensating. I think I'm technically, yeah, wait. Yeah, I'm technically doing this at the same rate that I'm doing this. Because if I just stay the same, I'm going with it. So what I really am doing is I'm moving up like that. At the same time, I'm moving down like that so that it looks still. Okay, makes sense right there. Boom. I'm looking straight ahead, so I stay looking straight ahead. What that means though is I'm doing that. I'm doing that at the same time that my torso, my upper body is going down. All right, now let's do that going up. So I'm just gonna stay looking straight ahead as I, boom, come up, okay? Going down, coming up. There we go. Now let's do smaller increments. Right now I did one single larger movement. Let's do smaller increments. Hoom. Hoom. Okay, know your limit. If I do this one, it's going to be kind of stretching it, but I can do it. I'm not going to go any further. I want to start getting a little sloppy. It felt okay. All right, it felt okay. But remember how I've talked before about knowing your limitations? Just make sure you stay well within that range. It's no reason to really, what's the word? Stretch, challenge that isolation. Because you do something really like risky, but the technique is totally off, then you lose that illusion, okay? So, let's move on even more. Here's a little freestyle, a little bit of freestyle doing what we've gone so far, what we've gone over so far. Boom, boom. Okay. Now here's another one. We did square, similar but different, diamond, okay? A square is like this. Technically this is still a square. We're just gonna move it, what, 45 degrees is it? So that means here's the diamond shaped. And that's it. Boom, 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 boom. Keeping the head the same angle. Now, honestly, when I go in diamond shape, I usually don't keep the head the same angle, but that's the simplest way before we add on another layer, okay? So, diamond shape. Now, I'm gonna show you how I typically do the diamond shape. Okay, I'm now moving my head on an axis, all right? You may have seen me talk a little bit about this before, maybe not. I move my head on an axis. The chin is a fixed point. And now at this angle, I move up. Now, at this angle, I move up. Now I'm going to move it over here, tilt, and now I go in this line. Here, I go in this line. Okay? It's possible it wasn't even 100% perfect when I did it, but you definitely see the point and see where I'm going at, or at least hopefully. Boom, done. Boom, done. Boom, boom, done, done. Okay? Now let's say I move around that, okay? And not just doing a literal diamond the whole way each time. I break it up. I do just elements of that diamond shape. And this time I went down. This time I'll go up. Boom. Okay, but the notion is basically I'm going 45 degrees left or right, pivoting on the chin, okay? And then there's this implied angle here, this column that's going at an angle that I stay within. Okay? Now, there's another way that I want to add that we can move. See, we got this column, but now look at this implied column too. It's a little trickier. My head starts doing this, but I might just do a little bit sometimes. Staying within that column. Boom. It's not perfect. It's a little, it's like, okay, my chin wants to do this. So I got to resist that by doing that as I go up. Does that make sense? So if I want to stay at this angle, I have to prevent my chin from curving. And so that means I have to use the chin to go kind of downwards as the head goes up. The chin kind of goes down as the whole head goes up. Now I have to go down with the chin as the head goes up. Watch yourself in the mirror and you'll understand it more quickly, okay? So we got going this way and we got going that way. Boom. So sometimes I can just keep this angle the same as I pivot. And you know, I'm doing this pivot with both feet, but honestly, that's good. But what I really, sometimes like right now, it's a little tricky. So remember, you can pivot 1 foot at a time, all right? And it's easier, okay? Shout out to Bop and Andre, it's because of him that I know about that technique. All right, so now here are some ways putting our head at like a cockeyed kind of angle, how we can move with the pivot, okay? So sometimes if I lean towards this side, you can kind of think, at least to some extent, if not 100%, now this could be like a fixed point at the top of the head. And so when I pivot, the top of the head is like a fixed point. Before, the chin was, and the top of the head's moving. And now, the chin moves, but the top of the head is like a fixed point. And so as human beings, we're typically going to be, of course we twist our heads sometimes to look somewhere instead of going with our bodies, but other times, but with a robot, we are trying to show, we don't want to show any signs that we're a human being. We got to remove all these notions that a human being does. So it's like we have to think like how we move and then move unintuitively. Does that make sense? A robot, a human just naturally moves like we have all these components and there's this way that they move together and they flow together. And a robot, it's like we're getting really isolated. So even though we move like one big piece, the head we can use to move in a weird way in relation to it that a human doesn't do. And that also gets us into the mental state of a robot. If I cock my head to the side, I now have a different energy in my head, that like in my mind, that makes me more of a robot, okay? So once again, top of the head, if it's faced that way, I'm gonna move in that direction. Sometimes I'll just stay in that direction. I'll just keep it there. Sometimes, top of the head, fixed point, or at least fixed point-ish, okay? And now, it's routine time. All right, it's routine time. Here we go. Using movements of the head with some bodily movements, keeping it robotic. Let's do it. All right, boom, get a robot stance. I'm gonna have, this is a common stance I do, but really it doesn't fully matter. You can be here too if you want. I like being like this, but it's also because my legs are naturally that way. I naturally have a turnout, so I just kind of use it to my advantage. You might be better at doing this. Up to you. Okay, get in that robot stance. It could be here, it could be there. Get your shoulders down, chest out. All right, here we go. 1, 2. All right, that's all we're doing. All we are doing right there. Chin down. Now I'm going to keep this angle fixed. So the chin isn't fixed, the chin moving, but this angle is fixed in place. This angle stays looking like that. Once again, 1, 2, 3. All right, we could do 3. Arms go back, doesn't matter. You could also do this. This is keeping the elbow still. We widen that angle, or we keep the angle still and we move our elbows. See the difference? Angle and elbow, 2 different things. Widen the angle, elbows do not move. Keep the angle still, elbows move. See these subtle differences? All right, here we go, here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Fixed point on the chin, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Head down, body down, keep the head the same angle. Move the arms by themselves, either way. Change the angle, change the elbows. One of those. Now we're gonna tilt the head over to the side. Fixed point on the chin. All right, now I'm gonna pivot. You could do both feet at the same time. I'm gonna do 1 foot at a time. And 5. Might not be totally fixed, but you can kind of see that there's this going on. The top of the head is doing something like this is the concept. As I pivot, this is my head from here to there. Imagine that. This is the chin, this is the top of the head. We're doing that, okay? Might be a little bit more like that or something, you know, but that pendulum kind of idea is there, okay? Once again, let's do it from the top. 1, 2, move the arms, move the head, and 5, okay? 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 6, 7, and 8. Okay, now let's do those last counts. Boom. So I'm adding something I did not teach yet, because I could have pivoted on the chin to have it I just trying to straighten my head. Okay, straighten it this way. It's going straight. It might not be, it might be a little weird compared to my torso, because this would be natural for my torso right there. I'm more like this, but I'm not cocked to either side, okay? Whoom, whoom, and whoom. That's with the fixed point with the chin. I'm gonna do something different. I'm going to go, so I'm doing this, and I'm doing that at the same time. I'm kind of going, I think, I don't know, I might be going like that or straight up. I think it's going at an angle. The head is going at an angle while the head is moving like that. So it's like, I think it's something like that, okay? 7 and 8, okay? It's like, imagine your chin is lifting you up like this, the equivalent of that. Except it's the head doing it. Chin, lift me up, okay. Chin, lift me up, okay. All right, so, I'm right here. 6 and 7 and 8. Counts might have been a little off there, but you see what I'm saying. Let's do it all together, really slow. Here we go. Down, boom, boom, 4 and 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now, I was already kind of up, so to compensate, look at my foot. I lifted up my heel. If I'm super down low, this would be easy, and I would not have to lift up any heel or anything like that. But I was already my legs were already up, so to compensate, that means I have to get up on my toes, so which I did. In this case, that's what I do. Boom. Just a little side note, those are fun things to do too. How can you change? Still on my toes, hips back. Just went on a little tangent there. Enjoy it, enjoy this ADD for you. All right, here we go. Once again, from the top, real slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8. For me, I lifted up my heel to help me get that elevation needed. So think of it as, because it's not totally fixed, because I can see my chins going, I can feel my chins going in more. Because if I kept it totally fixed, it'd be something a little more challenging, just to show you the difference. My chin's totally fixed, see that? See that difference? It's a little trickier, but you can do it. This one is just, what do I say? It's like lifting me up, and I'm trying to keep the angle of my head the same. That's what remains the same. The chin is not fixed, but once I lift up, I stay, my eyes basically and head are faced that same angle. Boom, boom, boom. Okay? One last time, here we go before we call it a lesson. 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. Oh, you are not, it's not your time. Trying to tell me to breathe for a minute. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. Lift up. And 8. All right? And there you go. Once again, to lift up, I'm keeping my head the relatively same angle. Okay? I might even go a little lower, because you can also like kind of compensate, overcompensate a little bit. It still looks cool. Chin goes down, chest comes up. See that? Here's compensation, where I'm changing the angle a little bit, and it still looks cool, because it's like these two things going in the opposite direction. My chest is coming up while the chin's going down, or it stays totally the same angle. Overcompensation looks like that, looks like this, same angle, looks a little more like that, okay? And so that is the lesson for how, some ways that we can use the head. There's some other things too we can do, but let's keep it there for now. There's always more that we can do, but that is not just a good start, that is plenty. You add some of those things and then you find your own ways that you can use them. It's next level, taking your robot to the next level, because once again, we're trying to get not only into the ideas of cool looking isolations, but feeling the essence of a robot when you see someone move, and when I see you move, when you see me move, blah, blah, blah. There we go, it's the end of the lesson, thank you.